What is going on in the world? What's happening here? So I was just scrolling online, seeing what's what. We got our first little photo of Terrifier, Art the Clown in Terrifier 3, and I was like, oh, what a jolly good day. Such a good time to be a horror fan. And then you get articles like this that pop up. Mickey versus Winnie. The public domain horror trend may have just jumped the shark. Oh, ain't that the truth? We got the announcement of a movie where it's going to have Mickey Mouse versus Winnie the Pooh facing off. And in your mind, you're going to have a lot of questions rattling in your head. So let me just go ahead and save you the trouble of a couple of them. This entire trend basically started with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Now, they were not the first movie to turn a fairy tale creature into a horror character. There's been plenty of them in the past. But the fault that this movie had, although I really respect and I like the team behind the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey movies, because they gave me a nice little cameo in the second movie, and they're actually really nice people when I've talked to them, so thank you for that. But this movie set off that crazy trend because it was made for $50,000 and it made $5 million. And dude, that right there, that's money making money. They're like, dude, we got something here. And so the second movie came out. That was a huge improvement, giant improvement over this, and they got a whole cinematic universe. Well, that started the copycats because now we got so many Mickey Mouse horror movies that are also not connected to this one. We got this one that's just called, I don't even know, just Mickey's Mousetrap, where it's just going to be a poor slasher of a guy in a Mickey Mouse mask slashing around some people at an arcade. Okay. Then we got Steamboat Willie, which is going to be a movie where Mickey Mouse is a killer on a steamboat. Okay. Where's some more? There's like one more. There's a video game also of the same concept where you play as an exterminator going to exterminate some rats, but one of them has mutated to look like this and he's after you. I think what's that called? Like Infestation 88 or something like that. And so we got tons of these happen. Look at this. What is this? Mickey in VR. Mickey's watching you play Arkham already. Arkham Shadows. He's like, can I get a turn? Let me get a turn, lady. That's what Mickey sounds like in my horror movie. So, even though there's tons of Winnie the Pooh horror movies, there's tons of Mickey Mouse horror movies, this is not connected to any of them. This is all its own separate thing and I don't even want to say starting its own universe, but just trying to be its own thing, man. So, it got announced, and the plot of this also sounds a little deranged. I'm not going to lie, though. The poster slaps. I think the poster's pretty badass. I can't even make out, though, what these designs are. The Mickey Mouse one is pretty obvious, but this Winnie the Pooh design is something else. But other than that, I love me the color red, so a red poster's banging, woman running through the woods, MVW, Mickey versus Winnie, that's cool. Okay, so the plot of this movie goes as you have two convicts who escape prison in 1920. They run into the forest and they disappear, never to be seen again. You flash forward to modern day and you have some friends who want to rent an Airbnb in this same forest. Well, turns out those two convicts who went into the forest somehow got mutated and turned into Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh. Doesn't make sense? Who cares, right? So, but I guess that's the basis for them being killers, is that they were originally jail criminals, so that's why they have that killer instinct in them, and now they've been turned into Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh. They're gonna go after these friends in the Airbnb, and at some point in the movie, Mickey and Winnie also fight each other like it's freaking Freddy versus Jason or Alien versus Predator in that capacity. Does that sound interesting? Yes. Would I love to see that movie? Yeah, like even just that simple idea of jail convicts. They become Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse, and you're going to have them fight each other. But the movie's probably going to be made on a $5 budget. The thing's going to look so awful and boring like a lot of these ones. Like, again, let's go to Mickey's Mousetrap. See what this ends up looking like. And it's like the potential could have been there. But the movie looks like it was made on like some short film status, just like random. And that's what always bugs me with these movies, man, because they actually have decent sounding plots, but they never have the money to back up that thing. It just looks like you gathered up a bunch of your friends at a Dave and Buster's for a weekend and then you filmed it on your iPhone. Like, that's the always thing that sucks. And even more so when it comes to the kills, because there's always like CGI used, overuse of blood, or cutaway kills. Like, yeah, did that shot look cool? Yes, but that's the one decent red light shot in the entire freaking thing. Oh man. So I don't know. Like, I want to look forward to it, and that's why, like, the Twisted Childhood universe. What is it? Twisted Childhood universe. That's what they're calling the Winnie the Pooh one, where it's having all their characters, because they had Winnie the Pooh, they had Blood and Honey 2, Bambi the Reckoning, which we saw a trailer of just recently, and like they're at the point where they could actually put money into these movies, and they're not gonna look terribly awful. The plots still might be nonsensical, dumb, but like at least they're putting money into it, and that's what's gonna make it enjoyable, right? Because you have this moment here from Bambi the Reckoning, where watch, freaking Bambi comes in and just CGI shot, but that actually looks passable. That actually looks watchable. That has some quality to it. That doesn't just look like a guy in a suit going, okay, I gotta hit this car, or like some sci-fi channel, freaking sci-fi channel CGI, right? So it's like, I'm actually okay with them, because they're at least putting in the money, and I'm curious what the Pinocchio movie's gonna look like, because you know me, I love doll horror. Pinocchio's a doll. I want to see him go crazy. Don't even get me started on the Pooniverse. I love me some Poon. Give me that Poon. I'm Poon muncher. So, yeah. Mickey Mouse vs. Winnie. Let me see a trailer. Let me make sure you put more than $5 into the movie, and maybe I'll give it a chance. This design is pretty cool. It looks like it's a black and white design. That could be kind of dope, but it's just not for me. Some people, seeing what some people are saying, low-key looks better than some Marvel stuff. Not even joking. So much Marvel hate nowadays. Chris, we should make our own Mickey Mouse horror movie. I would not want to jump on that train. I also saw people saying that. It's like, these characters are public domain. It doesn't have to be a horror movie. You know, if you've seen Challengers, you know, the Zendaya tennis movie that recently came out, give me Challengers with Mickey, Winnie, and Minnie Mouse. Don't have to be a horror movie. Just do something adult with these characters that isn't that. Give me like a Step Brothers. Give me this with Step Brothers, right? Make Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh Step Brothers who have to live under a house, and recreate that scenario like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Like, make it a comedy. Do something. It always just has to be a pour down horror movie, and this is why horror movies don't get that much recognition at the Oscars and whatnot, because they're looked as gimmick or just dumb movies. When it's like, we have more to say. Give me that Poon. I love my audience. Thank you for that. See what else you guys are saying. Dogs going wild. Oh, y'all could hear the dogs. Sorry about that. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But dude, this is literally like the 5th movie, man. Public domain horror. They have a whole section. So what? Ugly. Look at these movies. The Ugly Stepsister, Cinderella. They have a. Oh yeah. And I even saw this. Apparently, Winnie the Pooh 3. I'm not gonna say it's canceled, but we might not be getting Winnie the Pooh 3 anytime soon. Twisted Child. Let me see if I can find. Okay, this is the account. This account does a lot of news for the universe. I follow them on my main. This is my alt account. But they tweeted out here, because they're, I guess, on the Discord server where they receive a lot of information from the teams. And they told us here that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 is being shelved. It will happen, but due to the second not doing as well as expected, it will most likely release in 2026. That's not good. Again, all respect and love to the creative team, the writers, the director, Reese and all that. They've been nothing but kind to me, dude. But dang, it looks like the second movie didn't make as much money as they wanted to, and a lot of that is probably just because most people hated the first movie, so it's like, why would I pay to try and see a slightly better version in the second? Although I do highly recommend at least checking out the second one, because that was at least a watchable, entertaining experience, but it didn't do enough to where they're like, Winnie the Pooh 3 might not happen. I guess Winnie the Pooh 3 is going to be dependent on the box office of the Pooniverse movie, or this like Peter Pan one and the Pinocchio movie, but this is also, I think, a showing you that audiences don't. It was like a nice gimmick, turning Winnie the Pooh into a horror character for one movie. It's like, okay, that was a little fun for one movie, but it's like, we're over it. After you announced the 10th Mickey Mouse horror movie, this other one, the Cinderella, this and that, let's move on. This trend is dumb. You know, that's how I'm at least seeing it with the audiences. But we'll see. Maybe, you know, you turn out a good movie. It's not that it flopped because it's already made on such a low budget, so they definitely made money back. I just don't think it made because again, first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey made 5 million. So let's look at the box office of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 box office. I don't know how accurate this will be. Ooh, that's domestic though. It says here it crossed 360K and domestic box office. And that was, when was this made? Oh, geez. Let's see. So total, it hasn't cracked 1 million. It's like I said, the first movie, people were just curious, It was like a viral thing. It was like, dude, Winnie the Pooh's a killer? Let me go see that. Oh my God, this was awful. Why would I see a sequel? And I think it bit them in the butt. But dude, again, if you're going to make these movies, they should have taken the risk of putting this much money as this movie into the first movie. Series would have continued on. But now I think the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey universe is a little bit in jeopardy. It might be a little bit in jeopardy, but hopefully these next 2 movies are good. The Bambi one, the Pinocchio one, and the Peter Pan one. Because if not, that might be the end. And we have another failed cinematic universe. And the only ones that have survived so far are the Conjuring universe, the MCU, and the Monsterverse. Those are the only 3 cinematic universes actually pumping life. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. Okay.